Number one thing you do if you want to succeed is to go into business that you know a lot about rather than going into some unknown field. What I went through when I started is that you have to totally retrain yourself, that you have to really get it out of your mind, the number of people that you have under you and the support system that was there in that corporate world to prop you from doing what you did, and that ego that you got as a result of working in that environment. And you think you know a lot. What small business and entrepreneurship teaches you is that there is a lot more to learn, and you got to totally retrain yourself. And that particular thinking, once it gets into your mind, it makes your life a lot easier. And you got to have persistence, you got to have a focus, and then you got to have lots of patience, because to expect people to be doing things at your beck and call in your big corporate world is not going to happen in a small company. I knew a number of people in the field, and I knew this professor at Georgia Tech in aerospace engineering, and I was talking to him about some of the ideas I had. And he says, why don't we approach Navy to really fund us and this was about how to make your components affordable. Make them, and affordability doesn't mean cheap, or it doesn't mean just price alone, but it's to do the most, the operational wise, with the least amount of money. So that's the way you have to go. And those things can be very complex in a big systems like F-22 aircraft or some of those ships. And we went and approached Navy, and we got our first project. And that was within 6 months of starting the business, I had a project. And this is how we began. I think that's one of the big thing that comes out between working in a commercial space versus the government space is the thinking processes are a lot different. In a commercial arena, they want certain things made, or they have specifications, and you quote a certain amount of price to really do that job. And if you can do it faster, if you can do it better, you can do it cheaper, you just make very quick decisions to really accomplish that. And your customer would be very appreciative that you really gave a product in a record number of time, it's a very short time. And you can keep the profit that you made. In a government space, because of all the rules and regs where your accounting system, your processes that you have to live with, and the certain specificity about the time and delivery dates and the way you deliver, and you get approvals for every change you make, it slows you down substantially as far as delivery of a product and the amount of profit that you can make, because they are watching every cent you spend, and they have to really look at what you are charging, and they also have to make sure that the profit you said you're going to make, which is usually 5 to 7%, which is not enough to grow rapidly, is what the American system is very good about, and that is to really reward you for really doing the job right. But what I found out that when you really go and establish yourself and build a rapport with those people, I think there's one thing in America is that they do take you at the face value once you have built that kind of a rapport and you have proven yourself. But initially you have to overcome that little hump. The future for this country is not just the old, I would say, a blue-collar worker type of manufacturing, but advanced manufacturing, innovative technologies, and information technology. So those kind of things are where this country, as in corporate America, also sees a future. And on top of that, some of the US PAC's effort in really connecting Asian businesses to the corporate world as well as to the middle level companies, the trade delegations that you guys take, and working even with the US government space, I think would be a tremendous advantage. I've attended a number of national level conferences, and there are some who's who of some of the businesses have come and talked to us. And I would like to continue that relationship further to really get ourselves a lot more advantage of that. You don't necessarily have to be everything yourself, as long as you partner with the right people to bring in the skills that are missing. So the gap, you have to have a very good assessment of the gaps that you have in your skill levels. Instead of hiring people to fill a particular need, I would hire the people that were available. Okay. And when I come to know about somebody that I've seen before and that person is a very good person, I would bring them into the company and try to come up with a job around to fit them. And then I found out that that process is okay for a big corporation, but that's not very good for a small company, because your resources are limited. You've got to deliver the goods in a very rapid pace, and you are trying to train that individual to really fit the requirement. It takes away a tremendous amount of time, effort, and money. And it took me a while to realize that. And since then, I could see that now when we are really looking for a person, I have exact specification of whom I'm looking for and get the best talent to fit that job rather than the other way around. I think I enjoy the challenges. There are ups and downs like every other things in life, but to be in charge of your own destiny and to be tied to the risk and reward and effort is all synced with each other. So when you make right decisions, you make a right effort, and you see the reward, you know what produced that and what didn't.